Hello. So I just wanted to make a video just talking about warp arrows and how FoxN V2 patches warp arrows. And I wanted to kind of go more in depth because I don't really think many other people besides me know exactly how warp arrows work. So I just wanted to make it like common knowledge how they worked and how they're patched. So I'm going to use Desmos to kind of visualize the warp arrows, and hopefully I'll be able to explain everything fully. If not, just DM me on Discord, I guess, and I can kind of explain a little more. Hopefully I should be able to explain everything well, but yeah, I'll just show you guys in Desmos just kind of how warp arrows work. Okay, so here in Desmos, this is going to be our spot where our area band mob will be. We have models. This is going to represent an arrow. This is going to represent a fox. This is going to represent a piglin, and this is going to represent an enderman. These are all the exact hitbox sizes of each one, so you can get a better understanding. So first thing to know is the position of entities that is calculated. So all entities have a cube hitbox. Well, not cube, but rectangular prism hitbox. And on the bottom face, the center of the bottom face is where the position is calculated. Right now, I have a 2D example. Because I can't really do that in Desmos, but this would be the center of the bottom of the block. We're just going one horizontal axis and then the y-axis. So let's start off basic warp arrow logic, right? You have your mob in here, right? And you have your warp arrow. And in one tick, it will shoot, land inside the prison, and then on its second tick, it will kill the mob. That is the most basic explanation of warp arrows I can give. So now the second part is way more in depth. So when arrows go do collision checks, they do 3 steps. Step 1 is it takes its position, like this point right here, the center of the bottom face. So this is where all the positions are calculated from the center of the bottom face, which is this point right here. So it will do step 1 of 3. Step 1, it will ask, is the arrow inside of a block? So it will check if this position right here, no other position on this hitbox, this position, if it is inside of a wall or any block. If it is, it will stop. The other 2 steps are skipped, and then that's just it. But let's say it's not inside a wall. It's inside this air gap. And we'll put this back for reference. What is the second step? The second step is it will check for future entity collisions. So it will check, okay, what is it going to collide with on its second tick? The first thing is this piglin right here. So it will collide, kill the piglin, and then that's it. But if there's no mob, there's no future collisions, that's very important, then it will check, is it going to hit any blocks on its second tick? And the answer in this case is yes, because there's the end of the 1 by 1 by 1 hole here, the wall. It will just hit the wall and stop. So that is all 3 steps explained. Okay, so now let's get into some warp arrow patches and why some patches don't work. So, the common understanding is that, like, say you have like a fox here, and you drop your warp arrow here. The common understanding is that if this is where it lands on its second tick, it will kill the fox. That's not true, because if you remember back the steps, step 1, is it in a block? No. But step 2, will it collide with a future entity? You may say yes because it's inside of the fox, but actually no, because it collided with the fox on its first tick. and it already used its first tick collision on the Enderman that's in the boat in the front of the setup. So this is not a new collision, it's a past collision, and it checks for future collisions. So like say there was a piglin right here, it would kill the piglin and not the fox. That's very important to note for later. However, if we use this example and say we do it right here, this does kill the fox because it's not in a wall and it checks for future collisions. This collision will happen in the future on its second tick. So it will kill the fox, and then that's that. So that is very important to know for understanding the patches I'm about to bring up. So the first one, and this is the only patch that works to my knowledge, is having your piglin inside of something like a glass block, a transparent block, because mobs don't suffocate when they're in transparent blocks. However, they're still blocks. So let's say we have the same example, except this time the 1x1x1 hole is filled in with a glass block. So we'll do the warp arrow. It'll land here in a spot where it could hit the piglin, instead of, landing here where it can't. If it lands here, but step 1, it checks if it's inside a block, and it is. So that means it stops. Even if it lands here, it's step 1 inside of a block. Yes, that means it doesn't go further, and it doesn't kill the piglin. That is basically why the glass block patch does work. So now let's get into why there is a patch by Jerboa that does not work, and the concept is to have Enderman inside of the 1x1x1 hole for the piglin, and the piglin will be overlapped with all these entities. And basically the idea is that it will hit the Enderman, and then it'll say, wait, you can't hit that Enderman, because arrows, when they hit Enderman, they bounce back. So it'll say, wait, you can't do that, and it'll bounce back. However, this fails once you put the arrow here, because now the Enderman is a past collision, and the piglin is still a future collision, so it can still kill the piglin. So that's basically all there is to know about warp arrows. I hope you learned something today about prison tech, because this is this is a new, a fairly new topic for the prison community. We haven't really used these before, so I just want there to be some information out there on warp arrows, so that you guys know what actually goes on with these warp arrows. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. I guess. Yeah. So.
Final note. Remember, don't talk about Leon Void.
Oh yeah. Don't talk about Leon Void.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this patch is in Foxden V2, which releases at the same time this video goes public. So you can go check that out if you want. You can join my Discord server to get the download, and that's basically it. Alright, bye.